Okay, welcome back to That's Some Cheese, part of the Vendetta Sports Podcast Network. Today is Wednesday, October 28th, and we have intern writer. Hopefully I don't say this wrong. I think I'm going to say it right. Anthony Fontanello.
Wow. That was good. That was good.
I would hope so. Being Italian, I'd get that right, but
yeah,
you never know. Anyway, Anthony, how are you today?
Doing good. How you doing, Trey?
Hanging in there. Always busy. It's a shit show dealing with all you guys. It's a lot.
It's like running a daycare.
Yeah, I said the other day, I try to think of myself as the dentist, just as long as you guys brush your teeth, I don't have to do much. But, we have a lot of guys that don't brush their teeth. They got a lot of cavities to fill. So it's a headache,
I hear you, man.
So anyway, World Series is over. A lot of talk. That was bad. A lot of things to talk about here. First, let's just get this out of the way. I said this right as it happened, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Cash decides to pull Blake Snell in what is now the most egregious decision in World Series history. 74 pitches, 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits. He's killing the Dodgers. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Justin Turner combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Kevin Cash decides that he's seen enough of that. He doesn't like what's going on. He goes to Nick Anderson, who's allowed 6 straight runs. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I know a lot of people on Twitter, the mob on Twitter is not always right. But, I mean, a 5-year-old knows this one. What are you doing here? Kevin Cash, help me understand this.
As soon as I seen Kevin Cash walk out there, I'm looking up because I was in the middle of playing 2K while I'm watching the game. I look up and I'm like, oh, Blake Snell's got like 79 pitches. I was like, oh,
73 pitches.
73. Sorry. 73 pitches. Okay.
Makes it worse.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. It's no big deal. I see Kevin Cash walking out there. I said, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then I see Blake Snell start cursing him out in the mouth. I said, oh, God, he's taking him out, isn't he? Goes and takes him out. And as a Rays money line better, I turned the game off, knew I lost that bet right away.
The game was over.
The game was over. As soon as
the second he walked out of the dugout, it was over.
That's it. I just couldn't believe it. Like, this analytics crap has just gotten way too out of control. You don't pull your ace, Cy Young Award winning starting pitcher when he's tossing a friggin' gem. He's got no runs and up to that point only 2 hits. And like you said, struck out the top of the Dodgers order 6 times. I just don't understand how you could possibly want him out of the game.
The nerds are ruining the sport of baseball. It's unbelievable. Like, there's this line in the movie where in the movie Moneyball where he's like, if I say all this stuff, I'm a leper. Now it's like, if I don't say something analytical, you're the crazy person. It's gone completely the other direction. And I wrote this in my Bellinger article that we can get into a little later. You should use numbers as a way of confirming what you're seeing on the field. Instead, these managers have said, well, in the 6th inning, we're going to do this, but the game hasn't been played yet. Like, they go into it with a book. They don't watch anything on the field. And it's like their decision has been made despite what happens on the field. It's insane.
It's crazy. It's like if they were coaching an NFL game, they come up with their game plan, and their game plan is midway through the 4th quarter, we're just going to pound the rock with our running back. Oh, but the only problem is once we get to that point, we're down 21 and we need to throw it. But I'm just going to run it anyway because that's what the book told me to do.
But the analytics in football are starting to get bad too. I've been hammering this company, Pro Football Focus. I'm sure you've seen a couple of the posts. I don't let this go because those motherfuckers, when Baker Mayfield was coming out of the draft, they said he was the best prospect they've ever seen in their entire lives. This Baker Mayfield guy, according to the analytics, was this all-world, can't miss, first ballot Hall of Famer. And I just kept saying to myself, he can't make tight window throws, and he plays at Oklahoma in the Big 12. Yes, he should carve up Baylor. Every quarterback does that at Oklahoma. Jason White did that. Like, Sam Bradford did that. Every Oklahoma quarterback, Brandon Weeden,
Oklahoma State, but still, I mean,
he should carve up the Big 12. You're not watching the games if you think this guy's a number one pick. But of course, that's what they don't watch the games. The numbers have gone too far. It's insane to me.
It's getting like really, really bad. And just on Baker Mayfield, oh God, I can't even believe anyone would even dare to call him a can't miss player. Like, are you kidding?
Not just that, they said he was the best quarterback prospect they've ever seen. Because that's what the numbers were talking about. But clearly, like, you people need to use analytics to confirm what they're seeing. At Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield's this walk-on, not tall enough, goes to the Senior Bowl and stinks, and is carving up Big 12 defenses. But when he plays Georgia in the bowl game, he's terrible and needed all these trick plays from Lincoln Riley to do anything. That guy was never a number one pick, ever. He should have been taken in the third or fourth round, like I said. So I don't know. It's bad what's going on right now, but I think the worst part is Bellinger and Betts after the pre or post game, whatever it was, they were laughing at Kevin Cash.
Yeah.
They knew how ridiculous it was. The game was over right there.
I heard Bellinger say that he was joking in the dugout with Betts, and he was like, "Oh, good man, we got him out in the 6th inning, just like we planned."
It's insane. It's insane. The I don't know. Like I wrote the post when I did because I knew the game was over.
Yeah, I was actually really shocked at how fast that went up. I seen it go up. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
I posted it in the 7th inning because the game was over.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like the last pitch, 2 seconds later, I see you put the post up. I was like, what the hell just, I was like, how fast did he get this done? The hell?
I do want to talk about the Dodgers side of things because, yeah, they got one. Good for them.
Yeah, about time.
Whatever. But anyway, I'm a little upset in this aspect. Let's not pretend here like the Tampa Bay Rays were this all-world dominant team representing the American League.
No.
The Braves were a different team night and day without Soroka. That's probably 2 wins they're getting in any series. Atlanta needs that guy. The fact that they took it 7 without Soroka is a big accomplishment to me. So I don't think they even beat Atlanta if Soroka's healthy. And then Tampa, like that 2018 Red Sox team, kills the Rays. That those Houston teams, the really good ones with Verlander and Cole, they kill this Rays team. It's not like the Dodgers went out there and beat some stud team.
Yeah, no, it's not, it's not like they played the best. I didn't think the Rays were the best team in the American League, to be honest, but
even if they were, it's still not like
it wasn't that great. I mean,
their offense is pathetic.
Outside of Rosarena, they have no one.
Put that guy in the Hall of Fame, I guess. But
yeah, might as well. I mean, they're gonna retire his jersey just for this playoff run.
But my point is to pretend that the Dodgers only won this championship because they added Mookie Betts, to me, is insane. This is a team that's been to the World Series 3 of the last 4 years. The years they did not win, or the years they played a really good team, like that 2018 Red Sox team, the Houston team. They lose to the Nats in the playoffs, which eventually won the World Series. This Rays team, good hell, their offense is terrible. I mean, I would love to know the stat on their batting average when Arozarena was not on the plate. Because outside of him, they had no offense.
It must have been terrible because they couldn't do a single thing outside of Arozarena. And, it's not like the Dodgers bullpen is, all that great besides some guys in the back end of it, but they couldn't they couldn't do anything.
I guess my point is whether you can say if you agree or disagree. If they have Alex Verdugo in right field this year, they still win that championship.
See, the only reason I would disagree is because the defense that Mookie Betts played, I think, really helped them in a lot of close games. Now, granted, I mean, Verdugo probably could have made those plays too, but we don't know. And even
That's
just
fine.
from even just from stealing bases and the way he was playing defense, like he didn't swing the bat well at all in the World Series
or the round previously.
or
This
the
is
round
my
previous.
point. Like, Cubs fans could say, technically, Jason Hayward was a good signing because he was on that championship team. But Jason Hayward didn't do jack shit with the Cubs.
No.
Mookie Betts gets paid to hit. He did not hit outside of the last two at bats. And if they don't pull Blake Snell, we're having a different conversation. And it's probably game 7. This idea that, well, he made some good defensive plays.
Yeah.
You watch, I would assume you watch the Yankees more than anybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they play the Red Sox all the time. What's the difference between if you put Jackie Bradley in right field?
It really is no difference for the Red Sox defensively putting Jackie Bradley there. I mean,
Jackie Bradley played center. Your best athlete's supposed to play center field. Jackie Bradley's the center fielder for the Red Sox when Mookie was there because he was a better defender than Mookie. And Mookie's a great defender. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But Jackie Bradley played center field for a reason. This idea that we're going to justify the Mookie Betts thing because he played some good defense. I could have Terrence Gore out there. He could steal a couple bags too. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, this is a guy that's supposed to make $365 million. He didn't play like that. Like, by all means, crush the Red Sox, say they did a terrible job, but doesn't the guy have to fucking play well? That's not playing well to me.
No, he didn't play up to his contract. I'll tell you that. If he was playing up to his contract, he would have been doing what a Rosarena is doing.
That's my point. Like, you want to praise Betts, go ahead and do it. You want to say the Red Sox lost, go ahead and do it. But the guy has to play well. It can't just be, oh, well, the Dodgers win, therefore, I don't know, he looks good. It can't be like that. The Rams won this past week, but Jared Goff didn't look so good.
No, God, when does he ever?
So, I mean, they win. To me, they win this championship. Alex Verdugo led baseball in outfield assists. He's a very good defender too, and he had a higher batting average than Betts. He's got to play well. This conversation can't be, well, the Dodgers steal the century, and then he hits 220 or whatever he did during the World Series. That's crazy. What are we doing here?
What's the whole argument that I give a lot about Giancarlo Stanton? I don't give a damn that he won an MVP in Miami. He comes here and doesn't live up to the contract. We can win a World Series or not. I'm still going to rip him unless he's the reason we win the World Series because of the money that he's being paid.
And I said this, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. When the Marlins made that trade, initially, people, I guess I didn't because I didn't like the trade, but I didn't like it for the Yankees.
Yeah, no.
People crushed the Marlins. What are they doing? Giving up on an MVP? They didn't get anything, blah, blah, blah. It's like, he's not worth that. He's never worth that. And the problem with Stanton is he's a big time choke artist. He can hit bombs when he's playing in Miami as nobody's watching him. But, this was the no fans thing.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
That was great.
The best postseason he's ever had. He had the greatest postseason he's ever had.
I will never be talked off of this one. You put fans in the stands this year, he never hits those homers. Never. Never.
I would put about $500 on that, to be honest.
I don't know. To me, going back to the Betts thing, we can wrap up on it, but the guy has to play well. It can't just be, oh, well, they traded for him. Here's the justification. He hits 220. Everything's fine. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got to play better next year. He's got to play better next year. And if they do repeat, he has to be the reason why they repeated. He can't just be hitting 220 or lower in the playoffs and get carried by Corey Seager.
Well, that was one of the biggest things with the pitching change this year. And it's not like I'm just picking on the guy just to pick on the guy. If he was awesome, I am the least biased fan of all time. I would sit here and say, whoa, what the fuck are we doing? He hit 200 against lefties this year. During the entire 200, I'm messing up my fucking words today. The entire 2020 season, Betts hit 200 on the nose against left-handed pitching. Snell's a lefty and a Cy Young Award-winning lefty. They pulled him for a right-handed hitter who pitched in the Cape Cod League 2 years ago, wasn't on an MLB roster, had given up a run in 6 straight postseason outings, and Betts had hit 320 against right-handed pitching all year. It doesn't make any sense. Even the numbers wouldn't say it made sense.
I just cannot stand the analytics. I can't stand they don't want their starter facing a lineup a third time. Like what? But why does it matter if he's dominating? Like I was actually thinking about this today. I was like, let's say that Chris Taylor little BS single he got in the third inning. Let's say that didn't happen, and Blake Snell had a no-hitter going into that and gave up that one.
I still think they would have pulled him.
They probably still would have pulled him. They probably still would have pulled a guy that was just pitching a perfect game. They would have pulled him.
And the biggest problem with that is that, because you're right, that is why they pulled him. But they factor in every pitcher in the entire sport into that. Like, they don't just take, okay, let's group in just the guys who are elite. They take in, okay, well, every single starter in baseball, let's average that out. It's not like they use it for, like, let's take DeGrom or whoever, the top 10 guys in the sport. Let's see how they do through the third guy in the lineup. They're using that number with every pitcher in baseball.
It's ridiculous. It's like, you know what? Obviously, Jacob DeGrom, the third time through the order, is going to be really, really good. But if you're taking his numbers and combining it with, I don't know, friggin' Jason Vargas, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be skewed. It's gonna be brought down a lot. So I just don't understand why they do that. If they want to do something like that, I think it should be based off of guys that are like on your level.
Yeah.
At the very least, still hate the move, cost them a World Series, and honestly couldn't be any happier because I fucking hate the Rays and I fucking hate Kevin Cash. I
didn't like seeing Mookie lift the trophy, but I mean, I couldn't even be mad after that shit show because the Rays didn't deserve to win. But we have Anthony on the line here. What's your Twitter handle again? Let's get the people to follow you.
Ant_font1.
There we go. Make sure to follow Anthony and subscribe on YouTube, media_vendetta on Twitter for the site. Any articles that we talk about, I'll have them linked below in the video. But I've been thinking a lot about Moneyball because of the Rays, and I watched it the other day. It's back on Netflix. But there's a line in the movie where it's like, what's it? Peter Brand, his name is, and he goes, players are overvalued or undervalued for a number of different reasons. I don't think that's really changed. And there are two classic examples here. One, and I wrote this post today, kind of talked about it. Cody Bellinger. He's perceived as this face, like before maybe the Mookie trade, I think a lot of people would consider him like the face of the Dodgers. Is that fair or not fair?
I think so. I think it's like it used to be Clayton Kershaw for a long time, but I think
but he's not in his prime anymore either.
No, within recent years, Cody Bellinger is probably taking that mantle for them.
I don't understand the hype around Cody Bellinger. I'm not saying he's a bad baseball player, but he's going to be a free agent after next year. He's probably going to get paid handsomely. I don't think there's any question about that. He's got massive holes in his game. He swings like an idiot. Like, there's nothing about his swing that looks good.
I can't stand watching him swing a bat. I really can't.
This is my point, though. In the postseason, there's more defined scouting reports, and people take every pitch seriously, and they're not just going out there without a game plan. Everybody in the postseason, it's defined. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to attack them. In the regular season, yeah, they have a game plan, but it's not as focused or defined on every single pitch. There's a reason this guy, and I had to pull this up, 221 plate appearances, sitting $189 in the postseason.
Oof.
That's not a small sample size.
That's a lot. That's like he's been in the playoffs basically almost every year since he's been here,
and going deep into the playoffs because he's been with the Dodgers. It's not just a couple of games. $189 and 220 plate appearances. That's a lot. I don't think there's like a fluke behind it. I think he's got massive holes in. Like, to me, this is why you need to use analytics. I'm not saying they're worthless. You can watch that guy swing a bat and say, "The hell's he doing?" And then when you pull up his hitting zones, you're like, "Oh, well, that makes sense. Anything over the middle or outside because he's looping at everything."
Yeah, like
he crushes everything over the outside part of the plate because he loops at everything like a moron. Everything high and inside, and I'll link this article in. He's terrible. He doesn't even put any contact on it. He can't hit anything. I don't think it's a fluke. This guy struggles in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got like that type of thing. Like it's funny almost because being on the Dodgers is almost like you already have this like curse of being just an underperformer in the playoffs. And sure, Clayton lifted that monkey off his back this year, but I tell you what, when Clayton Kershaw goes away and the Dodgers are right back into going to the World Series of the NLCS and falling short year after year, they're going to start looking at Cody Bellinger now. You ain't going to get treated like the wonderful kid that, that Dodgers fans think you are. If you don't perform, you're going to get bashed like Yankees fans bash Giancarlo Stanton.
Bellinger's also that guy. I don't know what it is. Remember that scene in Step Brothers where the guy's like, "I just hate your face."
Yeah.
I want to punch him right in the face so bad. I can't stand him. Something about his face. He drives me nuts. But that's not even the point. Like, what's this guy done? He wasn't good this year either. At all. You can't hit $189, be a star player in the postseason.
No, it just does. No, you just can't do that. It just doesn't work.
I haven't seen one person talk about it either. Has anybody brought up the fact that he's not good?
No, see, because everybody treats him like he's like the golden child.
This is the problem I have with baseball. The entire problem I have with baseball. And like the numbers, they go a little too far, but they got to mean something here. And I don't know. I said this when DJ LeMahieu was a free agent. I wrote this entire piece about how teams need to prioritize this guy. If you sign Machado or Bryce Harper, you're crazy. That's what I wrote. And people thought I was a lunatic. Still on the site. I can link that one too. But I mean, there are players in this sport that we treat like gods, and they don't deserve to be treated like such.
No, definitely not. You were completely right about DJ and Machado and Harper, because look at what Machado and Harper are doing, and look at what DJ's doing. He's winning batting titles.
I don't know what it is. I can't, but for whatever reason, people seem to gravitate towards certain dudes and overlook certain dudes. But that line in the movie is right. I don't know if it'll ever change. And I said the same thing this year, and Garrett Cole pitched well. But I said, you're out of your mind if you pay that guy that money, because here's Zach Wheeler. He's just as good, if not better, and he's going to cost $120 million less. And lo and behold, Zach Wheeler, all he had to do was get away from Wilson Ramos. That's what the data showed. Every time Wilson Ramos is back there, he pitches like ass. Get him away from Wilson Ramos, and he can be one of the best pitchers in baseball. And lo and behold, he was this year. So to me, I don't know why this is the case, but there are certain players in this sport, they're overlooked and nobody cares. I don't know. I could go on and on. To me, Xander Bogaerts is just as good as Mookie Betts. Nobody talks about him. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I honestly don't hear anything about Xander Bogaerts up until the Yankees are playing the Red Sox.
He's arguably statistically one of the single best shortstops in the history of baseball outside of Alex Rodriguez. It's just
he's great. He's really good. Like, I very much hate when we play the Red Sox and I got to watch the Yankees pitch to him. But he's one of those guys I would have really loved on my team. Like, he's good. Like, nobody
cares.
No one talks about him outside when the Red Sox are playing the Yankees and it's on ESPN. And I got to listen to that terrible broadcasting team that they put together there.
Well, that's ESPN fill in the blank.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, at least they're the only ones that talk about Xander Bogaerts. I mean, it's crazy.
Last thing, and World Series MVP went to Corey Seager. It had to go to Corey Seager because throughout the postseason, this guy hit 400 in the World Series. And yes, he won the MVP. But again, this is another guy, and I'm spending too much time on this, but another guy. The Dodgers don't win the World Series without Corey Seager. You cannot convince me of anything else. This is a guy who hit 400 in the World Series, 7 home runs in the World Series and NLCS, completely carried this team on his back. The number 2 hole hitter is the most important hitter in any lineup. They shift against him, doesn't matter. He beats the shift. He had a weighted on base percentage of 489 against the shift this year as a lefty. That's unheard of.
Oof. God damn.
The guy's a monster. We need to give Corey Seager some love too here.
Yeah, Corey Seager, he played his ass off. And he carried that team all the way to the World Series. And hats off to him for winning the MVP. But no, you're absolutely right. They don't win without him. And if he doesn't perform as good as they do, they don't make it out of the NLCS.
Which is funny too, because I actually think they had a trade lined up for him with Francisco Lindor.
Oh my God, how bad that would be.
You got anything else in the World Series? That's all I have written down.
Nah, just happy. It's how could I forget? What the fuck was going on with Justin Turner last night? Can you believe what type of what a mess that turned out to be? He tests positive in the middle of a game. They take him out. Okay, they win. He, as I've been reading and hearing all day, is that he basically just ran through security guards and told them to F off and just ran on the field and started celebrating. No mask on. Probably spread COVID to the entire Dodgers team by this point.
See, I've been saying this for like a couple of months now. I just don't care. I'm so over it. Like I can't hear the word anymore. I don't care if I die. I don't care what happens. If I hear the word in my ears anymore, I think I'm gonna bleed or die. I can't listen to it anymore. I don't care what happened. If you told me the entire team tested positive, I don't care. I just have no give me a sports topic. I'll write about it. I'll debate it all you want. I have no knowledge on this. I'm not going to pretend I'm a fucking doctor. I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. Don't care.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I did want to ask you, Yankees offseason. Kind of want to go into both of our teams for the offseason quick, and then we'll get into some NFL stuff. But how did the Yankees actually win the World Series?
Okay. Number one, probably top of the list, headline, sign DJ LeMahieu. Sign him right now, please. They need to sign DJ LeMahieu. That's first and foremost. They need to get an actual number 2 starter. And I don't know Trevor Bauer. I'm not going to go and start, just preaching the whole Yankees are going to buy the world thing, but they need an actual number 2 starter. And we honestly need to rebuild this this lineup. It is way too right-handed. We got a couple guys that we could trade, such as Luke Voit. I love him, but he's expendable. We could very well trade Luke Voit for a quality starter or some more bullpen help, because Lord knows that bullpen was so vulnerable and it got exposed against the Rays. We only have 3 guys that could throw the ball out of the bullpen. That's it. Ottavino, he sucks. I don't understand what the hell happened to him. He's just terrible. So he's out. Chad Green got overused, but he was still good. Chapman, I don't understand Chapman. I just can't stand when he gives up a season-ending home run, and just my lasting image of the season is him just staring into the camera, smiling. I just can't take that anymore. But they need bullpen help, starters, and first and foremost, re-sign DJ LeMahieu.
It's amazing. One of these days, I just hope one of these teams hires me. I was the only guy screaming from the clouds to sign LeMahieu. Now everybody loves him. Just, I don't get it. Some of these things, I don't know. Some of these things, it makes you wonder. Anyway, first things first, you brought up Voit. The thought I keep having, and I said this in the Slack, but you're the Cardinals owner, and maybe you don't know a ton of what's going on, but don't you sit there and say, our GM traded Voit, our GM traded Arozarena, our GM traded Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen, and we got nothing. Why am I employing this guy? You're not. How is nobody sitting there saying that today?
I feel like I feel like the Cardinals just kind of been sliding under the radar with this. Like, they traded away some top guys for nothing, and no one said nothing, but everyone wanted to talk about the Marlins, who were, I mean, okay, some of those trades were like the Yelich one, just because he turned into an MVP. But
that's the Marlins. That's the Marlins and Brewers.
Listen, it's the Marlins. I mean, everyone wants to get on them for the trades they made, but hey, I mean, the Cardinals can't slide here.
The Marlins almost have no choice though, too, either.
Yeah, they suck and have no money. Nobody comes to their games. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to sit there with 7 years of Giancarlo Stanton for $325 million, bankrupt the team when they don't win anything, and he just sits there and just takes all their money?
To me, the Cardinals have an option. The Cardinals have money. The Cardinals have a real fan base.
Yeah.
And even like they can sneak into the playoffs or whatever, but I mean, good hell. How are you sitting there and like John Mozeliak? How am I going to employ this guy? Arozarena, I mean, he might be the best baseball player I've ever seen. Every single at bat, you're like stunned if he doesn't get a hit.
Yeah,
it's a crazy feeling. I don't know. It's kind of the same. Every time Kevin Durant takes a shot, I'm blown away if he misses. I'm like, wow, he missed a shot. He's that good. Arozarena, you're not supposed to feel that way in baseball. You're supposed to be like, maybe I'll get one hit today.
Yeah.
You're like, with Arozarena, you're stunned if he doesn't get a hit in every at bat.
He didn't hit 3 home runs today. Jesus, what's up with him?
What else did you talk about with the Yankees? The rotation to me is
the rotation, yeah.
Ooh. Tanaka, who else? Happ, Paxton, all free agents. How do you replace? There's like 3 holes in your rotation.
Yeah, the only Paxton, I don't know. I'm like so sick of Paxton. Outside of that stretch he had last year, like the second half of the year, where he was like, I don't know, something like, what do you got? I want to say like 7-0 or something like that to go into the playoffs. I mean, they still didn't do anything anyway, but he was hurt basically almost all this year. Was a non-factor. I don't know if re-signing him is going to be worth it. Tanaka, to be honest, all I saw Tanaka as was playoff Tanaka. And this year, he was terrible. Both his starts, he got battered around. So if he's not going to be playoff Tanaka anymore, what the hell is he doing on this team? And J Happ, you know what? I don't even want to get – please. J Happ, just go away. I don't care where you go, who you go to. Just please leave.
See, I think – I don't know. From what I've read, that they're just going to patch it together. They're going to go cheap. Like George would be rolling over in his grave.
Oh, God.
Trevor Bauer would be a guaranteed lock to play for the Yankees next year.
Oh,
if George was alive, but
of course, no. But his son, Kenny Pension wants to cut costs.
I don't think they're going to sign anybody major. Maybe they keep somebody, but outside of that, I think they'll go with Garcia. I think they'll bring back Herman, which is another hilarious story.
Oh, God.
I mean, for Hal Steinbrenner to go up there and say, well, we don't know if we want him back, that we don't really condone domestic violence, but don't worry. If you throw 100 miles an hour and you can close for us, you can stay, which is insane to me. I don't know. Maybe Michael King takes a spot, but Severino will come back. Doesn't sound like they're playing anything major.
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, but the only thing is we're going to be betting. We're going to be really, really betting on Severino to come back strong and be like he was in the early part of 2018. Like that's going to be a big bet for the Yankees, and hopefully it pays off. But I like Garcia. I think Garcia is going to turn into a star, but he's really young right now, so you can't rely on him to, go out and be a dominant number 2 for you this year.
Yeah. I think the Red Sox offseason is going to probably be a little boring. I think their offense is good enough to win, but I think Bloom will stay the course. If something is appeasing long term, he'll probably take it. I don't know. They just need to build up a pitching staff. I believe he'll be able to do it, but I don't think they're going to make any splashy signings.
No, probably not. Honestly, I mean,
2022 will be their year.
Yeah, Red Sox looking more at 2022, 23 is kind of when they'll be back. But listen, I would trade all of that in a heartbeat for, 3 World Series in the 2010s or 2 World Series in the 2010s? Something like that.
2004, 2007, 2013, 2018.
I'll trade all of that for 5 World Series since 2004.
I'm also convinced that they would have never won in 2013 without the marathon bombing. I feel like that was like
that was like a rout. That was a rout
because that team was not good. It was Ortiz. You have to produce every single time at the plate. Let's hope Napoli gets walked, and good hell, Steven Drew just sit there and be pathetic. Will Middlebrooks. That team was fucking bad.
They managed to win it all, and they look pretty good doing it too. I couldn't even believe it, to be honest.
That team was bad. Let's jump to some NFL stuff. You're a miserable Giants fan right now.
Oh yeah, it's long suffering at this point.
Daniel Jones, you in or out?
Jerry's still out. I'm not. My confidence in him. I'll tell you that my confidence in him is dwindling by the week.
Joe Judge, you in or out?
Joe Judge, I'm in. I'm not going to judge him on this season. I mean, the roster is full of talentless misfits. I mean, there's really not much he could do there. The fact that he's got them in some of these games, like to where they're just like one play away, I think that's pretty good on his part. But I like him. I'll keep him around for a little bit longer and see what he can do.
Yeah, my thoughts have been with Daniel Jones, and I called him this coming out of Duke. He just, every time I watch him, is like, there's Average Jones. Average Jones. He looks like Average Jones. He'll be this, and then he'll do this, and then over the course of an entire season, you're going to get something in the middle. I just don't think you'll ever be good enough with him to win a championship.
No, the only way the Giants would ever win a championship with him is if they had like a stellar defense like we had during our Super Bowl runs, and for him to just be a game manager and not make big mistakes. But if you're asking Daniel Jones to not make big mistakes, you're just asking to be hurt.
Yeah, with Joe Judge, to me, it looks like they're playing hard for him. It's way too early to tell. It's kind of like, if you got the wrong coach, you don't know if you have the right one. It takes a while to know if you got the right coach. I don't know if they have the right coach. I don't necessarily think he's terrible, but It's going to be about who he hires because he's a special teams guy.
Yeah.
He's not out there drawing up plays and, Andy Reid slicing them up for Patrick Mahomes. He needs a good offensive play caller. He hired Jason Garrett. So
Jason Garrett. Oh boy. Okay. I guess I'll get into Jason Garrett. When we first signed him, I was a little optimistic. I said, you know what? I'll give him a chance. Okay, 2 weeks in, and I want this guy so far away from my team, it's not even funny. If I see Evan Ingram running a friggin' end around one more goddamn time, I'm going to go down to the Meadowlands, and I'm going to friggin' wring Jason Garrett out by his neck.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram is another one. I want him so far away from my damn team so quickly. I will drive him to the airport. He needs to be traded immediately. I can't stand. How do you drop probably one of the best passes Daniel Jones will ever throw? It was a game-sealing pass, and he just drops it. That's all he does is drop passes. He's supposed to be this, prototype, super fast tight end, almost a wide receiver, but he's big enough to be a tight end. And the guy can't catch the ball. He can't block. I just don't know what he's doing anymore.
We kind of knew coming out of college he couldn't block.
We already knew that. But the problem is the Giants, they try to make him block. You know he can't do it. Why do you sit there and assign, the first game of the year, they're having him block T.J. Watt one-on-one. And
yeah,
you can see how that went.
I think the biggest issue is Dave Gettleman. The roster just isn't good.
Oh,
and he's been there long enough to put his stamp on the organization. When I'm thinking of this one worked out. Ooh, this one did not. There's maybe one move. It's James Bradbury. That was a good signing.
Yeah, great signing.
What else has he done that makes you say, you know what, that was really smart. Good for him.
Dave Gettleman is one of the worst GMs in football. All he does is destroy franchises. I did not like the signing when the Giants signed him anyway. But look at what he did with Carolina. They were in the Super Bowl. All right, you lost to one of the best defenses in NFL history, in that Broncos defense. All right, fine. But it was the next season and the season after, he just completely neglected on getting them better. He just was blowing the team up. He gave Cam Newton nobody to throw to for years.
Kelvin Benjamin, yeah.
He's Kelvin Benjamin, who was one hamburger away from being a freaking offensive tackle.
That's true. Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, man. And then all Dave Gettleman does is just do stupid things. It just makes you just it's even people sitting at home on their couches when they see some of these trades and some of the people that he drafts. You could sit there and be like, well, why would you do that?
I think the Beckham one was the worst one. And it's not they needed to get rid of Beckham, but the problem is they signed him to this big extension, ate all this dead cap to trade him, and then didn't get anything. They got a first-round pick, but they picked Dexter Lawrence, who's a two-down nose tackle who can't stay on the field all the time. And then they traded for Jabril Peppers, who's not a real safety. He should be a linebacker. He had 0 career interceptions at Michigan. He's not a real cover guy. So the Beckham one was the downhill. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I just don't.
And the Barkley. Barkley's a good player. You can't take him second with no offensive line.
You can't. We have no O-line. We haven't had an O-line for
different story if you had an O-line.
If we had an O-line, sure, take Barkley, but we don't. And then, I love last year picking Andrew Thomas. I
actually really liked him.
I did, but have you seen his numbers?
It's not good.
Yeah,
he's a rookie though. He could get better.
That's true, but me as a Giants fan, you know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm looking at this guy and what I'm seeing, and all I'm seeing seeing is Eric Flowers. That's
he'll be better than that.
He probably he will be. I'll give him the benefit of a doubt for now. He probably will be better than that.
The Nate Solder one's worse, I think. He gave Nate Solder like what, $60-70 million.
Yeah, Nate Solder is terrible. I actually met Nate Solder. He's a fucking dickhead. he's like just a stiff. He was just like a stiff board, like just no emotion, no nothing. I'm like, God, so you really don't care on the field, do you?
You got anything else on the Giants you want to talk about? It's pretty much all I had.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll get rid of Evan Ingram. That's a fact. Tell you what. I'll give Dave Gettleman credit for what he was able to put together with the defense. I mean, outside of really Jabril Peppers, they have looked pretty decent. I mean, they actually look pretty good.
Yeah, Leonard Williams has come to life a little bit. They overpaid for him, but he's come to life.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they better than it was last year. I'll tell you that by a far stretch. That defense.
Lorenzo Carter was playing really, really well before he got hurt. I loved him coming out of college.
No, Lorenzo Carter, I like him, but I like Blake Martinez a lot. Blake Martinez is all over the field, and I love him at linebacker, but you know, I just can't honestly I can't stand Jabril Peppers. Like in that Eagles game, I'm watching him go one-on-one with Boston Scott, and I'm watching this little running back just absolutely burn him.
Can't cover anybody.
And then catch a one-handed pass. It's crazy.
You can't cover anybody.
Jabril Peppers just, I don't know, man. That was just a dumb trade, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's me off every time I think about it. I got this Odell jersey in my closet. I can't even wear no more because Dave Gettleman just wanted to get rid of him.
That's pretty much going to do it here. You got anything else? And I guess we could talk about, how you found the site, how things are going with you, things you're planning on writing, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, all right. So how I found the site originally was, I believe it was through Chegg internships, online site. I seen you guys ad in there. So I went in, looked at your Twitter account, found the website for Vendetta Sports, and I really liked it. So I applied. You guys answered me back, and it's been pretty good ever since, honestly.
Yeah. Anthony has been doing his internship with us. What else do you have going on? School-wise.
Going on. Probably going to be writing soon up on. Let's see. I'll probably be writing up on who I want for the Giants coming up in the draft, because we all know they're going to get a top 5 pick. So I'm going to start doing my research on who I want.
Nice.
Won't be Trevor Lawrence though, because it'd be real hard to beat the Jets out. I mean, we already got to win, so
yeah,
that already put us out of the race.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it then. Thank you, Anthony, for joining the show. Make sure to follow him, Ant Font, I think, right?
Yeah.
Twitter.
Ant_Font1.
Yep. There we go. Make sure to follow Anthony. Also, shout out Sophie, our lovely video editor. I apologize to her for watching that good God fucking Titanic of an episode. That was the fantasy show last time. I promise you, Sophie, that will not happen again. That trio is donezo. Good hell. But Sophie, you're amazing. Anyway, subscribe. Check out the website, vendettasportsmedia.com, and we will see you soon.